Welcome back. I've just taken off from the Kingston boat ramp and I'm heading further down the river. I've got 3 days on this trip, so I'll be hitting lock 3 in about an hour's time, which is just after lunch when it will open. I'll be meeting Ian in Waikery on Monday night, so I think it's just over a 50 kilometre paddle, so it is midday, so got a late start again. That seems to happen a lot with me. Alright, I better get a move on. I do want to get around to Banrock Creek today to see if I can set up a camp there, which is, it's about 14 kilometres, so not too far. But I do have a lock, and it looks like there's going to be a houseboat in it as well. If they're paddling as fast as I am, if they're moving as fast as I am, they'll probably go through first, which means I'm going to have to wait and then go through the next one, which will add possibly an hour to the day. So I've got Loch Luna behind me. I've paddled in there many times before. It is an absolutely gorgeous paddle. I'm going to have to paddle straight past it this weekend, but that's fine. Plenty of times to come back. It was supposed to be a fairly still day today, but I am pushing into a moderate headwind at the moment, though I won't be heading in this direction all day. So once I'm through the lock, I'll start turning towards the west, and hopefully the cliffs will give me some protection from that wind. I'm still making reasonable time, but every time I stop I'm heading downriver and I should be going that way. How's the serenity? I can still hear their music. Oh well. So each of the locks are beautifully manicured. Great place to come and have a picnic if you were passing by. So that's the downside of lock 3, is they close those huge gates. And as you can see, there are almost all of the gates open on the weir. Apparently they're actually going to have almost double the flow next week, which is awesome. Bummer it's not this week, but never mind. Make the most of it. I'll be out to enjoy it next week. So I've made it to Overland Corner. It's a very busy campsite this weekend. I've just been passing caravan after caravan and dinghy after dinghy. Great fishing weather though, so it's not surprising that I'm seeing so many people out on the river. Certainly on my through paddle next year, I'll be stopping here and going to the hotel that's about a kilometre up, further up away from the river. Apparently they do a legendary burger, so I'm quite looking forward to that. But for this trip I'm not going to stop because I do want to get to my campsite relatively early today, and of course next year I'll be staying overnight at the hotel. So well, the cliffs behind me are the Overland Corner cliffs, and these guys look a little bit like termite mounds, I reckon. They're quite smooth. They've got little holes where those huge termites would go in. Every set of cliffs is different. So I'm probably only a kilometre or so from where I'm going to set up camp. On the other side of the river from the cliffs behind me is Banrock Station. So it's a wildlife reserve as well as a working vineyard. And it's got heaps of birds in it. Yeah, so it should be a wildlife filled night, I imagine. I'll hear plenty of wildlife around the tent. But that should be good. So that's assuming, of course, that I can find somewhere to stop. Got plenty of daylight. It's still before 3 o'clock, so I am going to stop early today and find myself a nice camp and have a leisurely setup for a change. all settled in for the night. I've just been enjoying this gorgeous sunset behind me. I'm gonna have some roast spuds for dinner tonight. Nacho roast spuds, so nacho toppings on the roast spuds. So that'll be a couple of hours probably. I've got to wait for the coals to bed down and then put the foil wrapped potatoes in there. Great night. I also remember to bring mozzie coils with me, which is making a big difference. There's very few mosquitoes near me. There are further away from camp, so definitely going to bring that again. Can you hear all those birds settling in for the night? I reckon it's going to be a pretty loud sunrise tomorrow. There's a half moon out, which means there'll be some great stargazing tonight because, as you can see, no trees above me, which will be fantastic. As I'm sitting here waiting for my roast spuds to cook for dinner, I'll be able to do some stargazing. Well, it's getting cold. Well, that was an excellent paddle today. I paddled 13 kilometres in 3.5 hours, which included a lockage. So the fastest lockage I've ever done, because basically as I arrived, the gates opened and I paddled in, which was fantastic. It meant that I got here with heaps of time to spare. Had a little play with my drone, set the camp up and have a fire going, which I am sitting around now. It's very nice down there. I'm going to do some great stargazing tonight. I'll certainly have time because I need to cook my roast potatoes in the coals, and I'm almost at that stage where the coals are ready. Oh gosh, it's getting cold. So yeah, I went through the lock with other people today, which was something different. There are a couple of jet ski riders, a father and daughter, that were going for it just for a fun ride along the river. So as noisy as jet skis are, they were friendly people, had a good chat. Actually, it was a pretty friendly day on the river because I also had a chat with a retired couple that were on their houseboat just after I left Kingston-on-Murray. They were very keen to know everything that I was doing and why, and was I being safe. So that was good. That was nice of them. And they come up here during the winter to stay on the river on their houseboat. Pretty good life. I could see myself doing that in retirement. Oh, there's a lot of birds around here. There's also lots of kangaroos. I saw a lot come down to the river at sunset to have a drink. So tomorrow I'll go as far as I can, assuming that I leave at a reasonable time. I'll probably try to aim for about 28 kilometres tomorrow. It's a big day. So that I can finish up at a reasonable time on Monday. But if I don't, or if I find the perfect spot, then that's fine too. From memory, there are really no perfect spots, so it's going to just be a make do kind of camp. So getting in late, cooking dinner and going to bed is probably perfectly fine because I'll be pretty tired after such a big day. And my coals are almost ready. That is throwing off a lot of heat, which is fantastic. There have also been a couple of times, actually more than a couple, there have been a number of times where I've planned to have a camp at a particular spot based on what Google Maps is showing. And it turns out that either that spot's no good, which only happened on a couple of occasions, or there is someone nearby that, and I don't like to camp, you know, I prefer to camp out of sight, out of mind of people. So that's one of the reasons I've been putting in some pretty big days. I plan to finish at about 22 or 23 kilometres. And sometimes I've paddled 30 kilometres in a day because that's just what was needed to find a spot where I felt safe to stop for the night. And of course that's a consideration as a single female. I wish it wasn't, but there it is. You can see no light. Oh, there's a little bit of light left. Stars are coming out. I'm sure the birds will go to bed soon. So there you have it. Nacho topped roast spud. I am so looking forward to this.